Hey, welcome. If you're a visual artist and you're not selling enough, I've kind of got an answer for you. I'm John Alsop. I help artists design their own marketing and sales approach that feels great and it actually works. So, just imagine that if you enjoyed marketing and selling your art, and it's kind of your way, and it feels comfortable and it plays to your strengths and it kind of works. It sells enough art. Just imagine that moment. And, what if people came to you because they love and understand your art and because they want to buy and they want you to succeed? And what if you could enjoy demand for your work without doing the sales and marketing things that you really don't like? And yeah, you can. I'll show you how. I'll show you how in this demonstration. Now, a lot of artists come to me after, they put their heart and soul into their art and also into their marketing, and they're getting like one or two sales or no sales. And frankly, they're usually really irritated with the whole damn thing. And when I started working with artists on their sales and marketing, there weren't many marketers. I've been a marketer for 40 years. This is a more recent thing. But now when you go on Instagram, it feels like every other post is an ad. And well, the truth is, I'm a big buyer of sales and marketing training. I have to be to keep up with developments. And you might feel like, I do that, so you don't have to. But there is a bigger difference. Pretty much all of those courses offer a specific, like a rail track. Do that, do this, do that, and all your dreams will come true. It's like this, goes like this. And I think that kind of works for some things if you're selling kettles or, drones or something. But I do think art is different. It's not like selling a regular product. You're very much selling yourself, and you're selling what you stand for. You're selling what you represent. And, I think every artist should market themselves differently. So that, for instance, if you're all about interconnection between humans and nature, perhaps you should market yourself through word of mouth. So this is very different to I've got a course and you've got to do this. I'm saying let's understand you and market and help you market yourself your own way. So that kind of simplifies everything. We're going to discover, design, and create just one way for you to sell your art. There's no faffing, there's no time wasting, and you're really good at it. And the thing that this reminds me of, and you may not be as old as I am, but if you remember Tupperware, the plastic food containers they used to sell through parties, these Tupperware parties. And I believe that was their main way of selling. I don't remember ever seeing a Tupperware ad. It was just word of mouth and parties. And so they got really good at it. It was, it's a big company. And so they optimized for what their strength was and they became world class at it. And that's what I'm proposing you do. You get something that works for you and get really good at it. So, all of these other things, counting engagement and likes and follow accounts and all that, we're using accountancy methods to sell to the heart. And I think that's wrong. We're counting followers, clicks, and engagement instead of building relationships and real fans one by one. And this discomfort about selling stems from the idea that you're persuading someone or even tricking them against their will. Now, what I'm talking about is attraction marketing. For example, I helped an artist get really clear on what values they stood for, they stand for. And yeah, that does sound vague, but I do have a system for it. And when you and your buyer share values, it's like you're sharing a journey. And the result for that artist was a near sellout show. Now, we're all under pressure to post to social media every day. We're competing with every other artist, fighting to see who can post most often and who can capture the most. It's a mountain climb with room for only a few at the top. And this is the old way now, and it's extremely hard work. But the pendulum swings, and the new way is organic, it's collaborative, and it's exploring. It's about finding new places where you are the obvious choice. Now, the magic happens where three things combine. Blue ocean strategy, that's where instead of competing with everyone else, you hang out where your people hang out. And appreciative inquiry, which is a proven way to work together positively, to share our best lifetime experiences and put them into action. And your creativity. Let's make your marketing clearly you right from the start. Let's sell your art like it's your unique art. So that's quite a messy diagram, isn't it? But you get the point. And you can see the point that I'm making there is you're obviously strong on creativity, but we want to get into this place where that's combined with an appreciative inquiry approach. So we find things that work and grow on those, and we use community to work out what it is that's working for other artists, and blue ocean strategy where you go and sell to your people and there's no one else around, it's just you and your buyers. So you might think that you're not good at that. Yeah, this is all very well, but I'm not very good at sales. And I say, play to your strengths. What are you good at? And your difference is actually what makes you and your art wantable. Is wantable a word? Desirable is the real word, but wantable kind of stands out. So I'm leaving that there. So this works for artists who are selling but want to sell more, or if you want to raise your prices, then you need more demand in order to do that, perhaps. Not sure if that's actually true because it's not the same as ordinary economics. But anyway, you could raise your prices if you're selling more. Artists who want to pass through the stage and be discovered. So in other words, you've got to do the marketing in order to be discovered. And then you can sack off the marketing because somebody else is doing it, the gallery's doing it or whatever. And it works for artists who haven't sold yet, but obviously would want to. Now, so you can start this right now. If it's okay if I get into a little detail, I've got an affordable group coaching offering called We ArtStep. And what comes next in this presentation is how it works. So you can try these methods on your own, or you can join us in the group and benefit from being lifted up by the community. Obviously you're free to scroll on if you don't want to know what these methods are. But I'm going to tell you what the methods are. So the first principle is appreciative inquiry. And that's a real thing. It's, I didn't make it up. You can look it up for yourself. Its basic premise is very positive. Rather than try to fix what's wrong, let's celebrate and amplify what's right. And so we start with a marketing problem that you want to solve. In We ArtStep, we vote. So the problem is something many of us are facing and want to solve. For example, in We ArtStep in February and March, 2025, we're looking at building artists' mailing lists. And we're answering why any serious buyer would sign up, why would they read the emails, and what would motivate them to buy. So it's a community method. We start by gathering and sharing stories about times when we've seen the problem solved well. And this is a real key to how appreciative inquiry works. It's like a hive mind. It's the hive mind benefit of being in a positive and a helpful group. So we extract the best bits from those stories and imagine them applied to our own unique situation. And we design our future. We think through and solve whatever issues come up. And in We ArtStep, I'm there as the art, sales, and marketing expert. So I can pitch in. And we have 4 optional coffee hours on Zoom each week. So you can get the help you need that way or through the website. And that's all great, but we need to do it. And so that kind of starts with a plan. So you need to work out how you're going to carve out the time, make some decisions, build a habit, give this method that you've imagined a chance. And accountability is another great benefit of We ArtStep because we hold each other accountable. So in We ArtStep, we follow this process each month. So there are weekly stages. So we start with discovering. So that the first stage is called discovery. We think about what we know, what we've seen work to solve the problem in our past, or what we've seen other people do, and then we cherry pick the best bits for ourselves, and then we plan out how that's going to work, think it through, and then we actually do it. Make the time to do it, and make some choices about what you do, and then actually do it and share the wins. So so I think I've covered all of that. The final week, the main plan, we've got to do it, and then we share the wins. Said all that. That's great. So that's kind of one side of We ArtStep, and underpinning everything we do is my belief in values-based marketing, which is basically, let's work out what you stand for. Your values drive what's unique about you. Your values are there in your art, and it should be in your marketing copy and in the marketing choices that you make. And values also determine who you sell to. Because, if you're into nature and you meet a house builder, you might not match up. You need to be in front of someone who cares about the environment and has the money to buy. That's your blue ocean. So Blue Ocean Strategy, it's a famous book. Again, I didn't make it up. Is where you step out of the blood red, shark-infested waters where everyone's trying to sell, and fairly or unfairly, I always think of art fairs like that. Instead, you step into your own blue ocean of people who are likely to love your art, and you engineer it so that you're the first person they think of, and you're the obvious choice because you've optimized for those people and that market. So who are these buyers and where is that market? Well, of course, it's unique for every artist, but it comes from your values, and I can guide you how to work this out. So if you stand for spontaneity, you need to find other spontaneous people with money. And my favorite thing to do is to work out what jobs they do and then go and find them on LinkedIn. So you and your people start to feel like you're on a journey together. You all want a more spontaneous world. And since you're a free artist beholden to no one, you're probably ahead of most. And that makes you a leader. Leaders have followers, right? So when you think about getting a social media following, this is how. So we deal with all this together in We ArtStep. I hope you see now how different it is. It's called We ArtStep because we step forward together. It's affordable. It's just $37 per month to be involved. And if you're still watching or reading this, maybe you're on the edge of a decision. You haven't clicked to join yet, but you're still here. So let's just do the pros and cons together so you can make the best decision for yourself. Okay. On the upside, we're doing this together. We're pooling our strengths. This is not a guru guy. I'm not telling you what to do. All right. Yes, I'm the expert. Yes, I'm the marketing expert. I have 1,000 different ways to do things. We're finding the best way for everyone involved individually. And, this moment, this is your escape route. Future you is watching. This is where you get help to design your own art marketing system that plays to your strengths. It works. And it's something you'll be happy with. It's something you'll be comfortable with. So it's a very kind of angular world led by numbers, accountants, yes-no decisions. But you're going to be human. And you and your art are going to change people for the better. On the downside, it is $37 a month, and you may not have that. And yes, marketing's free because it makes money, but you have to respect the cash flow. I get that. Try something from what I've said and get a win or two, a sale or two under your belt, and then maybe come back. To get the most out of it, it will need some of your attention. There are the weekly tasks and the coffee hours. The coffee hours are optional, but people are getting a lot out of it. A lot of people who are in the program come to the coffee hours. So it could be 11 o'clock. So this is UK time, 11 o'clock, 2 p.m. or 3 p.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. So if you're not able, if you're not ready to dedicate a little time to it, this might not be the right time for you. But also, and this isn't really a downside, if you're thinking, I hate people. I mean, I had a whole other thing going on, and it died because people were like, I don't want more friends. So if you're one of that, if you just want to go in the studio and do your art, you don't want to see anybody else. See, if you're thinking, I hate people, you can just farm this. Nobody's doing it yet, but you can join and just lurk, harvest the lessons, and do your own thing with it. It's okay. You can say hi when you're ready. No pressure. So you can join anytime, subject to availability places. Of course, we are progressing forward each week, so join now so you don't miss out. And that $37 a month is an initial offer price. It won't always be that price. So if it feels right for you, don't hesitate. Press the button and join. And I'll send you a welcome email and I'll show you around. Now, kind of behind this calm exterior, I've never been this excited about one of my programs. That's why there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, because I'm sure you're going to love it. But if you do join and you don't really feel it, just let me know and I'll give you your money back. No problem. Thank you for trying it. And again, on the pricing, I do have a clear plan to double the price once I reach a certain number of members, and there's an upper limit to how many members I can support. So this will become a closed group at some point. So really, if you're seeing it, don't miss out. So click the button. There'll be a button or a link or something to get instant access to We ArtStep. Come and join us on this journey together and get confident with your way to sell your art. Let's make this happen.